If I could only take 5 supplements for the rest of my life, these are the exact 5 that I would choose. And before we dive in supplements, I need to tell you something, which is supplements are overall a little bit overrated. Why? Because I see a lot of people, they're not exercising, they're eating crap, their sleep is messed up, and they just worry with supplements, and they're spending $300 or $400 a month with all types of supplements. And in this video, I'm just going to give you the 5 top supplements that I personally take, and I believe that most of you watching this might need as well. So I believe as well this video will save you a bunch of money, because I'm gonna cut through the noise and give you exactly what you need in order not only to optimize your physical performance, your body composition, but also your sleep, your overall well-being, and your immune system. And by the way, the supplements that I'm going to list here, they are not in order of importance. They all serve different purposes. So it doesn't mean that number 1 is more important than number 5, right? So let's dive right in. The first one, vitamin D3 and K2. Why is it so important to have vitamin D? Because most people are deficient. Most people stay indoors, and this acts more like a hormone and less like a vitamin. The importance of vitamin D is that it's not only it's related with your immune function, it's related with cognitive function, it's related with hormonal health, such as more testosterone and fat metabolism. What it means is that if you're not having vitamin D3, you're more likely to have low testosterone, to accumulate more fat, to have a weaker immune system. And the importance of K2 is that it helps calcium goes to your bones and not to your arteries. So ideally, you want to take a vitamin D3 supplement with K2. Again, it will help redirect calcium to the bones, which is exactly where you want to have calcium. Now, what I do here is that, for example, now it's winter time, and during the winter, I'm in Portugal now, I get 10 minutes of morning sunlight when there is sun. It's not enough to produce vitamin D. Now, even if you go outside, if you're in Portugal or Spain, or during the winter, it's not possible to produce vitamin D. The sun is not strong enough for you to produce vitamin D. So you can get a little bit of sunlight. It's good for circadian regulation, for immune regulation, but not enough for vitamin D. So ideally, during the winter, you want to increase your vitamin D levels. And that's why during the winter, maybe 2 or 3 months, I take 4,000 international units every day, because again, I'm not getting enough sunlight and it's not enough to produce vitamin D. Now, this will strengthen your immune system. It will help you with your testosterone levels, fat metabolism, and it's one of the most important supplements that you probably should take, and most people are deficient. Also, when it comes to vitamin D, you want to ensure that this is not meant to be taken in a fasted state. You want to take this with fat. So ideally, you take this in the morning after your breakfast. For example, if you eat eggs, avocado, cottage cheese, a couple of nuts, ideally take that after a meal that is rich in fat. Why? Because you're going to improve the absorption of vitamin D. So just ensure that you don't take this. Ideally, don't take this at night or just with a protein meal. Try to put this with protein and fats, because again, fats is exactly what's going to improve absorption of vitamin D. So this is one that I would include in the list of my top 5 supplements. All right, which brings me to the second one, which is omega-3. Now, omega-3, I could do a whole video talking about omega-3. The importance of omega-3 first is it reduces inflammation, improves cognitive health, heart health as well. You want to pay attention to something, because you see a lot of omega-3 supplements out there. You want to ensure that you have 1 gram of EPA and DHA combined and not just fish oil. So pay attention to that. And why am I showing you this? Because this one is a great omega-3 from Nordic Naturals. This one has 1,280 milligrams of omega-3s, but 650 of EPA and 450 of DHA. So you might see, for example, supplements online, or you go to a store and you see 1 gram or 1.2 grams of fish oil, and then you see that EPA and DHA is only 300 and 400 combined, or 500 combined. So that basically means it has half of the EPA and DHA of this one. And in order for you to have the benefits of omega-3, which is anti-inflammatory, joint support, and heart health and cognitive function, you want to ensure that EPA and DHA are elevated, are higher, ideally 1 gram of EPA and DHA combined. And why is it so important? Most people are inflamed. Why? Pollution, seed oils, lack of sleep, stress, All of these increase inflammation in your body. What it means is that it disturbs your sleep, you feel off, gut inflammation, you feel bloated, you have joint pain, you have low energy. And by ensuring you have a high quality of omega-3 in your diet, all of these will go away, or at least it will improve that. It's not a miracle. It's not like you take this and suddenly start feeling way better. Of course, this has to be aligned with the proper nutrition and lifestyle habits, but we're not going to talk about it here. But it's a great, great supplement. And again, like vitamin D, you want to take this ideally in the morning with fats, because again, it will improve absorption. This is not to be taken in a fasted state, or you can take at night, but ideally you want to take both vitamin D3 and omega-3 in the morning after breakfast, after a high protein after breakfast, especially with fats. So get your omega-3, pay attention to the EPA and DHA, make sure they have at least 1 gram combined. All right, which brings me to the third one, which is creatine. Now, creatine, this is a big one. Now, this creatine, a lot of people think that creatine will make you bald, or creatine will make you gain weight, or there are still a lot of misconceptions about creatine, but this is one of the most researched and safest supplements that you can take. Now, in terms of dosage, I would say 3 to 7 grams. It all depends. For example, if I do a heavy strength training session, like for example, yesterday I did a full body session, 60 minutes, mainly compound movements, and then I had like 7 or 8 grams of creatine. If it's a rest day, I might have like 3 to 5 grams of creatine. I don't cycle creatine. There are some days, of course, that I don't take. I don't take every single day. For example, when I traveled, there were like 3 or 4 days that I didn't take because I wasn't training. But again, this is something that you don't need to cycle. Before, we used to think that you should take this for like 4 or 5 weeks and then you stop for 1 or 2 weeks. You don't need to cycle this. If you want to cycle, that's totally fine as well. This is one of the best supplements for strength, performance, recovery, and also for cognitive function. And this is something that has been researched lately, which is the cognitive benefits of creatine, especially under stress. So highly beneficial both for your brain and for your body. Now, this one doesn't boost testosterone naturally. There are some people saying that creatine boosts testosterone. Now, it doesn't boost testosterone directly, it boosts indirectly. And why do I say that? Because creatine is what fuels your performance and your strength. What it means is that if you're doing, let's say, 6 to 8 reps in one exercise, if your stores of creatine in your body are proper, and if you're loading on creatine, you might get to 9 or even 10 reps. So this is gonna basically allow your body to handle performance and strength sessions a little bit better. So you want to make sure that you take, I would suggest on average 5 grams. After the workout, by the way, the timing, it doesn't matter. You can take in the morning, you can take it with water in a fasted state while working out. Ideally, I would suggest, I always take this after my workout with a protein shake, or I put on my yogurt or Greek yogurt with 5 grams or 7 grams of creatine, 1 banana. You want ideally as well to have some carbs with creatine because it will improve the uptake and the absorption of creatine. But again, not mandatory. There is no perfect timing for you to take creatine as long as you take it on a daily basis. So this is clearly one of my best supplements that I would strongly suggest that you would take. And why is it important for testosterone? Not because it boosts directly testosterone, but because it supports the outcomes that men want, which is if you're taking creatine, that means you're going to become stronger. By becoming stronger, you're going to lift heavier weights. By lifting heavier, you're going to boost your testosterone levels as well, and your sleep will improve as well. And so basically, this is all related. So this is not a testosterone boosting. What it's going to improve is your strength levels, your recovery, your performance that are directly linked to testosterone levels. So make sure you incorporate this every day, totally fine. 5 grams is the sweet spot. And ideally take it with some carbs after the workout. All right, which brings me to number 4, which is magnesium glycinate. Now, this has been a game changer and again, very important. That's why we are including this in the top 5. And why is that? Magnesium, especially glycinate, improves muscle contraction, improves relaxation, and improves recovery. Now, this is supposed to be taken at night, ideally. What I do is I take this 1 hour before bed, 30 minutes to 1 hour before bed, 200 to 300 milligrams. In this case, it's 2 or 3 capsules. Yeah, 3 capsules. It depends on the supplement that you're gonna get. But ideally, you want to take 200 to 400 milligrams 1 hour before bed. Magnesium glycinate ideally. This is crucial for recovery. A lot of guys are struggling with sleep. They're feeling off, they're feeling stressed, they feel that they're not sleeping properly, they have low energy, and most of the time, if you take this within a couple of days, a couple of weeks, you're gonna notice a massive difference. This supports relaxation, sleep quality, and recovery. And why is this so important? Because sleep is the foundation for everything. You probably don't need another diet, you don't need to cut carbs. What you need is to fix your sleep. If you fix your sleep, you're going to build more muscle, you're going to burn more fat, you're going to have better REM sleep and deep sleep, which are the restorative phases of your sleep. And magnesium, of course, it's not the only responsible for that, but it can be something that can really help you. And for you to have an idea, I can even show you something. I take magnesium almost every night. And the next supplement that I'm going to show you, which is the number 5, is related as well with sleep. And I can even show you this. So I use Whoop, and this has been my recovery in the last 7 days. And I have had green recovery for like 12 days. So as you can see here, always green recovery. Now, of course, I'm not saying that it's just because of the magnesium, but I'm telling you that if you manage these properly, like if you're lifting weights, if you take the right supplements strategically in time, if you nail your nutrition, it's possible. Now, again, don't get me wrong, don't think that you're just going to take magnesium and everything will fall in place, but it can be something very, very useful as well. So magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams, 1 hour before bedtime. Which brings me to number 5, and I'm sure you don't know what's coming here for number 5, because I don't see almost anyone talking about this one, which is glycine. Why is it important, glycine? And as you see, I'm not giving you whey protein, I'm not giving you testosterone boosters, I'm not giving you fat burners. This is the best fat burner that you can take. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a fat burner. What this is basically an amino acid that will improve sleep onset and sleep depth. What it means is that if you take this as well along with magnesium glycinate in the evening, you're gonna fall asleep faster and you're gonna remain asleep for longer as well. What it means is that this will improve specifically REM and deep sleep. This is not a testosterone booster, but again, if you're sleeping properly, if you're having more deep sleep and more REM sleep, you're going to have more testosterone, and this one is directly related to that. So you can take both together in the evening, 1 hour before bed. This one you can take 2 to 3 grams. I personally take 1 to 2 grams. I don't go up to 3 grams. But again, you can just try and test. I am fine with 200 milligrams of magnesium and 1 gram of glycine. You can try 400 grams of magnesium and 3 grams of glycine. I suggest you start perhaps with a little bit less and test and see how your body reacts. But this is just to show you the importance of glycine, and I don't hear anyone talking about the importance of this one. Besides improving sleep, it helps lower your body temperature as well, which is key for sleep. You cannot sleep in a warm environment or hot environment, and this one lowers naturally your core temperature. What it means is you're going to fall asleep easier, and also supports your parasympathetic nervous system. You have 2 types of nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is the fight or flight when you're wired and stressed and high cortisol. Parasympathetic is exactly what you want at night, which is relaxed, calm, and on and ready to go to sleep. And this one supports exactly that. So these 5 supplements won't fix a broken lifestyle. If you're drinking alcohol, if you're always on diets, if you're cutting carbs, if you're eating processed food, if you're eating seed oils, if your sleep is crappy, if you're always stressed, if you're not moving, if you're doing excessive and brutal HIIT classes, this is not gonna work, of course, because I like to tell that supplements is 5% of the results that you will have. Focus on 95%, which is proper sleep, good workout structure, focusing on nutrition, and then, of course, you can sprinkle that with a couple of supplements. In my case, I would suggest these 5 because I believe these are related with all the basic functions that you want to optimize. And if you just get these 5, you're going to save a bunch of money because probably you're going to stop taking your testosterone boosters and your fat burners and protein powders as well. And by the way, nothing against protein powders. If you need protein, get your protein, but that's to supplement, all right? If you can get protein from whole foods, even better. If I had to put 6 supplements here, probably I would put some whey protein just in case I'm not able to get my daily protein intake with whole foods. And these are the 5 supplements that I would choose. Let me know in the comments down below which supplement would you add here to this list, or if you're taking any of them, or in case you have any questions, just feel free to drop them down below and I'll be more than happy to answer each one of you. And in case you're struggling with your sleep, just feel free to check this video right here, where I break down my exact evening routine to get green recoveries on Whoop every single day or almost. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.